Alrighty. Welcome back. Welcome. How we doing? Jay Powell's with us? Alright. It's good. We got Jay Powell in the house. The rocket intro? You want it? Pop that UAV. Do I have a coupon code? Unfortunately, Sammy, no coupon codes for the group, man. Yeah, I mean, the last time I ran a coupon, I did some, this is part of doing business. You run tests, you see how they work. The last time I ran a coupon, all it did was increase business, increase my churn rate, and literally everyone I think that joined off a discount left, right? I'm not doing it, okay? Don't join my community if you need a discount. I don't want to deal with, people coming in, them leaving when their discount's over, my churn rate of the group increasing. It's not really worth it to me. So unfortunately, I'm not going to give discounts to the group. Maybe on like a Christmas or a New Year's or something like that, maybe Black Friday, something along those lines. But for the most part, no, I'm not discounting the group. It's just it is the analysis that I have gathered. It's the data that I have gathered after running that coupon for Black Friday. Got a lot of people join, right? But pretty much, I'd say, I don't know what percent, but a lot of people left, right? And so it's just, if you're joining for a disc, like the churn rate, very consistent, about 12% of the group, like about 12% churn. So really good, right? People stay, people love it. I think a lot of people enjoy the group, but if you're joining for discounts, it's probably not the right reason. So sorry about that. Nacho, hit me up, man. Message me somewhere else but here. Discord, Instagram, send me an email. Yeah. 2XL t-shirts. Yeah, I mean, we're just starting out the merchandise, so we're learning from it. Me and Marvin are learning from it. So we'll get some. Maybe in the next run, we'll get some woman sizes. We'll get some, maybe 2XLs. Yeah, the next run is probably going to be some sweatshirts. So, yeah. TTL. Good morning, TTL. Hashtag TTL. Welcome back, guys. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys had a good day yesterday. Hopefully a good morning. Hopefully you woke up feeling good, feeling refreshed. Should be an interesting day. Nice upside. Upside TSM earnings, firing those semiconductors higher today. So NVIDIA, AMD, hot. AMD, new all-time highs. New all-time highs on AMD. So, big time. Big time. So we'll see if there is continuation. Waiting for the Hezbollah shirt. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. I gotta hit up my boy Hezbollah, see if he's alright with me selling his face. Alright. Yeah, I think Apple's upside this morning is likely due to TSM as well. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this has changed with Apple's business, but at one point, TSM was the supplier of Apple, right? So I don't know if that's still the fact. I had to, fact check me there. But I'm pretty sure TSM's upside is helping Apple. Am I still NVIDIA? Yeah, I'm gonna lose maybe $300 on NVIDIA this morning. I had one contract, so yeah, gonna be a loss. I can make that loss back in 10 seconds. So yeah, just swung one contract, didn't work. Gonna get stopped out. I probably just hold it, just because it's probably gonna be dead this morning. They are still? Okay. So, Sammy, thank you. Yeah, so Apple likely moving higher because of that TSM, right? And then also the upgrade from Bank of America. On top of that, guys, right? On top of that, on top of all of that, right? Apple's just been, we've talked about this, right? The 200 SMA. So, that 200 SMA, right? Holding really strong. And a 200 SMA, guys, that's no joke of a level, right? 200 SMA on Apple, right? That's going to be a strong spot. So, yeah, you're seeing a little bit of hold at that 200. So, yeah, nice little bounce there today. All right. Tesla just went back down, did it? Nah. Still up. All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Yeah, IWM, nice hold of 188. Nice bounce there, definitely. Yeah, that was good. Nice opportunity there. Probably there's a key level today. We'll talk about IWM today. We'll go over it all, right? We'll go over it all like we always do. So let's get started. Press that like button if you could. Let's get those 1,000 likes in, right? Let's start there. 1,000 likes. Guys, every link, if you're looking for a link, in the description. All there. Merch, Discord, technical levels, my socials, everything down below. All right. Let's do it. Let's start with the economic calendar. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Apple moved away from TSM after making like the M1 chips and all that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there's still some type of connection there. I'm not 100% sure. All right, here we go. So today is Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Wow, today is Thursday. Okay, so today is Thursday. Yeah, OnlyFan links down below as well. All right. So Thursday, today, unemployment, right? Pretty much normal Thursday stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. Thursday, 8:30, unemployment claims. So we will see what happens on that today live in about 23 minutes. So let's see what that does. You got building permits, manufacturing index, housing starts. Nothing too crazy. Natural gas, crude oil, and then FOMC member Bostic speaking at 11:30. So really nothing major on the economic side. Really just the unemployment claims this morning at 8:30. So we'll see what happens there. We'll have that live. We'll see what the reaction is. I can't imagine it's crazy, right? It's probably not that major of a reaction, but we'll see it live here on the stream. The thing that is driving us today, right? One of the biggest drive of this morning, if you are not aware of it, is the earnings calendar, and that is TSM. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. Is driving us higher. Very big move on TSM this morning, and it is driving the semiconductors higher, which obviously semiconductors is a big driver to the whole NASDAQ market lately, right? Semiconductors have been pretty much the largest or the most, sort of that catalyst for upside on the entire market. And so here is your earnings calendar today, TSM this morning. That's the big one. That's the thing that's moving us. Pretty much that's it for the end of the week. The rest of the week is some small regional banks that, really I don't think mean too much here. So that TSM, big beat there. We'll go over all of that here today. Let's jump into just the rest of the month, the economic calendar for the rest of the month here. So let me go to that, pull that up for us so we can look at sort of in depth about what else we're looking at. So today is the 18th, right? This was here. We're right here. This is TSM, right? Right here is today. Tomorrow, nothing. Next week, we got Netflix. Big one, right? Big one on Netflix. 3M, Johnson & Johnson, pretty big for the Dow. Tesla, next Wednesday. Big one there, right? You got some payment processors in Visa. American Express, American Express next day. Intel, interesting there. Then this is the big week, right? This is where it starts to get very, very much something to be paying attention to. So Tuesday the 30th, Microsoft, AMD, Google, right? Big ones. You got Boeing here, which should be interesting. Apple, Meta, big ones there. Some healthcare, AbbVie, Exxon, Chevron, McDonald's, Eli Lilly. This thing's been monstrous, Eli Lilly. Disney, PayPal. So you're starting to get into it, right? You can clearly see. You're starting to get into earnings season. These 2 days, this is probably the big 3 days right here, right? These are the big 3 days. The 30th, 31st, and the 1st of February. All right? So just know you're approaching it, right? Something to be paying attention to. All right. Here we go. Futures, NASDAQ. Where are we at? We're at big levels here, right? And so yesterday, what did the NASDAQ do? Pretty much, the NASDAQ pulled back, right? Pulled back, reclaimed this CPI low, held it into end of day, and that was your demand hold, right? So right here, CPI low, or CPI low is right here. But that's actually funny because that CPI low, which is right here, was also the low of, remember that Wednesday, that panic Wednesday, where the market just pretty much tanked the entire day? That was 16,750. So 16,750, CPI low 16,750, and yesterday, the reclaim of 16,750 was very key, right? You see right here, NASDAQ broke it, but was able to reclaim it, right, and hold it here into end of day. So this little hold, this 16,750 hold, end of day yesterday, very key, strong demand hold there, and you can see we're moving to the upside today. Obviously, part of it fueled off of TSM's earnings. So very nice hold there on the NASDAQ. Now, we are watching, right, the level that you have to be sort of cautious of today. You know, unsure as of right now what we see here. We do know that the power in the morning is up, right? We know that the momentum is definitely to the upside this morning. That's very clear. This area should be interesting to watch, right? The 17,000, 17,060, this whole area that is rejected multiple times. You are trading right in it this morning. So this is gonna be interesting, right? Do we see another rejection here, or is this the day that the NASDAQ gets above this supply and starts to continue? That's the question mark of the day, right? And we can't get that information yet, but we know the area that needs to be monitored. We know it's 17,000 to around these 17,060 highs, right? That's the previous lows right here, previous lows here, right? 17,060, previous high right there. And so 17,060, I think, right? There is some highs up here, right? You can see there's some high up here around the 160. There's some highs around this 130, right? There's definitely a few more levels to watch above here. But I think, right, if the NASDAQ is able to hold over the 17,060 level today, I'm going to assume that it's going to rip through these levels, right? If you can get a hold over this high, if you can get a hold above these lows, if you can get a hold over this, all these highs here, right, and you can start to see the NASDAQ maintain that level, I'm going to assume that it just, that rally, starts to rip us through some of these sort of short-term levels up here. So in my eyes, if you see a hold over the 17,060 today, it's probably time, right, to catch some upside. That's my opinion right now, right? If you can get above that high, these lows, and this high right here, and you can start to maintain that today, you're looking for upside, right, on the NASDAQ futures. So anywhere between 17,000 and 17,060 is your area to watch, right? That is your area to watch. It is very possible to still see rejections here, right? Don't get that twisted. It's very possible to get the rejections here as you've seen over the last week. So we need to be cautious here, right? We don't just open the day and say, I don't care about this supply, I'm going long because I think we're going higher. It might work, right? But that long term probably won't. That mentality probably won't work long term. This rejection is possible. Be aware of it. Make sure you understand it. Wait to see if you can actually break over the 17,060 level. If you can, I like that upside. If you get a pullback this morning, which would be great, right? I like longing pullbacks. I'd rather long a pullback, than to just long straight upside. And so if I see a pullback, this is the area that I sort of want to watch. It's around this 16,870 area. Now, why would I like a pullback to this area? Why would I like a pullback to this area? Well, you can see on Tuesday of this week, we got a pullback from the supply back into the 20 SMA, right? So you can see right here, we went up into supply, rejected, moved back into that 20, and held up, right? So that would be pretty much the long entry that I would love to see, right here. If we could get that pullback here, right, into that 16,870, then and start to hold, right? If we start to see a hold in this area near that 20 SMA, that could be sort of that pullback long opportunity that you're looking for today. All right? That's definitely something I'm watching. All right? That's definitely something I'm watching there. So 16,870, that's my demand here. 20 SMA also there as well. Would love to watch, or would love to see that. If we don't get any type of pullback, then we're just looking for a break and hold over the 17,060 for longs above that level. All right? QQQ. QQQ. Hourly chart, right? We can very clearly see the level that needs to break today. We can very clearly see the level that needs to break today. Previous highs, right? Previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. 411, very clear. 411, 411, 411, and we're right there this morning. So what do you need to see today? You need to see a hold over 411, right? If we can see a hold over 411 on the Qs, I think it's time, right? I think it's time to go. And if you get a hold over 411 on the Qs, right, then we move up into that 413. What's going on in the chat? What's going on? All right. I lost him. It's blurry. I can't see. Okay, guys, nothing's wrong. It's totally user error. If you can't see the stream, it's your fault. Okay, let's pay attention. All right, lock in. 411, 411, 411, 411, 411. All right, big level. Okay, big level. Now, if you can get above that level, right, it's likely that we are going to move into these highs. 413. All right, 413 is the highs on the Qs right here. Right there, right? So today, you're looking for 411, right? If you see that hold over that level, you are looking for longs into 413. That's big, right? That's big. Okay? Now, let me get back into this. It is still possible, right? It is still possible that there is rejections at the 411 level. So we need to be aware of that, right? And if we see that rejection, where would we like to see the market pull back to? I'm sort of watching this sort of area around this 407.50, 408, right? 407, it's like 407, 407.50. It's right in here. Here, let me explain to you why. So I'm going to put that level there, and we're going to break this down on the 15-minute chart. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, we can see this is very similar to that NASDAQ. It could be a little bit lower at like 407. And the reason why I say that, right, the reason why this could be the pullback level I looked for is because this is, again, Tuesday's lows right there. This is that Friday low, right? You see some demand stepping in here from Wednesday of last week. And you can see that this is that little futures level and the 20 SMA. So if we get that pullback, right, this would be the level. That around that 407 would be the level I'd look for that long. This is, again, the same thing that happened on Tuesday, right? You can see upside on Tuesday into 411 supply, pullback, and it created a long opportunity at 407. So same thing, right? If we get a pullback today off 411, I would look for that long potential around 407. So 411, 407, and then that big 405 demand that held. And the upside, if you get over 411 today, you're pretty much going to that 413 high, right? That's that. ES. All right, the S&P 500, very nice hold. at our 47.40 level. We had this level marked out yesterday. We moved right back into that 47.40 demand, and we held very strong. So here's the S&P 500 on the 1-hour chart. We can see 47.40. That's that Wednesday low, 47.40. That's sort of this consolidation low here, right? 47.40. Very strong demand there and a very strong hold yesterday, right? Very strong hold yesterday at 47.40. I don't know what to tell you guys. If the stream is freezing, it looks totally fine on my side. But if the stream is freezing, then just gonna keep going. So 47.40. That's the level to watch. That's obviously the level that held, right? So very strong hold there. Now let's zoom in a little bit, right? And let's look at some levels here in the short term. So right here, you can see 47.70, and look at that maintain. Look at that reclaim over 47.70 yesterday, late day, right? Late day, 47.70, 47.70, and look at that reclaim at 47.70, right? Very clear, very nice. So today, if you get any pullbacks, right, 47.70 is one of the levels to watch. If you get a pullback today, 47.70 is one of your demands to watch. Very big there. If you break under 47.70, you still have that 47.40 demand. So big demand hold yesterday. 47.40, 47.70. Two big levels to watch below. Now, to the upside, it's a little bit around, I think it's around this 4,800 to this 20 SMA that I think you have to be just a little bit cautious of today, right? Just a tad bit cautious here around this 4,800 on the ES today, right? You can see the S&P 500 is trading back into these highs all right here. Previous high, previous high, previous high, previous low, previous low, previous rejection point high. So you're trading right back into the 4,800 level and that 20 SMA, right? So I think the ES, for me, right, I want to see the ES get above 4,800 today. If it can get above that 4,800 and start to hold above that 20 SMA, that is likely what pushes us towards the 48.20 level, right? Into 48.20, above 48.20, you have the 48.40 highs. So 3 levels to sort of monitor today. I think number 1, that 4,800 and that 20 SMA, I think you're going to want to see us above that area and holding that area for upside into 48.20 and then 48.40, okay? If you get any pullbacks, you're looking for demand at 47.70. You're looking for demand at 47.40, okay? Very clear there. SPY, very strong hold at our 470 level. Perfect hold, actually, at our 470 level here yesterday. We had our 470 marked out on our charts, right? And you can see this was a previous high, right? I'm sorry, I'm going to make that red. This was a previous high that turned into a new low, right? So that is a very nice structure, break, and hold above that 470 level. Very nice. Now, what else did the SPY do? Hold, 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 472, right? That's very nice as well. So you held the 470 demand, you got back above the 472, and you held above that here late day and in the after hours. Very nice hold over 472 and very nice upside push. So today, right, you can see what's your next level to watch. 475, right? 475, 475, 475. All these supports at 475, rejection 475, and you are moving right into it today. So 475, what are you going to want to see for upside continuation today? You're going to want to see that hold above 475. If you can get a hold above this 475, you move into the 477, right? The 477. So 475, right? 477. These are your 2 levels above. 475, 477. Those are the levels to watch. What are you going to want to see for upside continuation? Hold above 475 for the move into 477. Okay? If you reject 475 today, what are you looking for? In my opinion, you could look for that hold of the 20 SMA. You could look for that hold of Tuesday's lows. I I would probably want to see, if I was really wanting to get long here, I think a pullback to 472 would be a sick long entry, right? If you can get this little pullback and a nice hold here, that could be real interesting. So definitely eyeing this 472 demand. A little bit of watch at that 20 SMA, of course, right? But, right, the big level above, without a doubt, is 475. That is the same level, right? That is the same thing as 4,800. 4,800 on the ES, that is equal to 475 on the SPY. Okay? Very key. Let's jump into the IWM, because the IWM did pretty much exactly what we talked about, right? We talked about this 188 level. We talked about that short being done, right? That short is over. And it definitely, in my opinion, is starting to hold, right? You can see you have the 188, and you moved right back into it. You moved right back into that 50 SMA, and you held very strong yesterday. You held very strong on even a double bottom right here intraday. 188, you popped off of it, you came back, 188 again, you held it again, all right? So 188 is a level you do not want to short the IWM into. That's very clear. Today, I would want to see the IWM get above 192 for more upside, right? I think you need to get above this 192 level, right? These previous lows, this previous high. If you can get above 192, then I like that for upside continuation towards that 197. But what you need to be careful of, right? If you're longing the IWM here at 188, what you need to be careful of is a move like this, okay? You need to be cautious of this. This could still be a little pop and rejection at the previous lows. It could just be a break and retest, rejection still here. The only way that invalidates is if you get above the 192. If you can get above the 192 and hold above it, then that invalidates and you move higher. So all eyes on 192 if you're watching IWM today. The Dow, yeah, I can check out the Dow real quick. The Dow has done nothing here, huh? The Dow is just sitting at demand, really. You have that extreme demand low around this 37,400, right? Lows, and you can see you're just sort of maintaining this. So, yeah, this is a big level for the Dow, this 37,400. Big level there. All right, that's that. We got 2 minutes until economic data. So let's go ahead and take just 1 second. We got 1,970 people in here. At least that's what I see on my end. We have 700 likes. So all we need is another 300 of you to press that like button. That would be much appreciated. Cheers. Little morning water. Nothing like it. Nothing like the morning water. All right. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. On the economic data. Oh, I did freeze there again, huh? I think it's when, I don't know what it is, man. I got to reach out to like YouTube or something. But when I get like 2,000 people in here, it starts to freeze. It's the amount of people. Every time it gets to 2,000, it starts to freeze. I mean, I have a really strong internet. I'll show you guys. I have very much enough internet to run a stream. So I don't know what it is. Let's see what the internet's coming in at today. It's not even going. What the hell? Maybe my internet's not strong. Hello? Hello? There we go. I mean, when I'm plugged into Ethernet, I'm getting about 1,000. I'm getting about a gigabyte internet. I pay for gigabyte. On Wi-Fi, we're on Wi-Fi right now. We're at 740 megabytes per second. That should be plenty. The upload is drop. Is that what it is? The upload? 32 upload, 34. I mean, I think that's plenty to run a stream. I don't know. I don't think it's me. Yeah, I don't think it's me. I think that's a very strong internet. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's something to do with YouTube. Wow, we have 2,400 people now. Wow. Welcome. All right. So, economic data. Nothing really, right? Economic data, you can see right here. A little bit of a move, right? But we're still under, right? We're still under this supply high, right? Supply high. So 475, right? 475, 475, 475, 475, 475. That's going to be your big level today. 475. The upload's a little low. All right, I'll check it out. Thank you, guys. Rad Dad, thank you for the gifted membership. Who got it? Car Guy. Hey, he's deserving. He's deserving. Car Guy got it. Thank you, Rad Dad, for the support. So ES, okay, so we can still see ES is under the 20 SMA. Very important there, right? That 4,800 level. NASDAQ still just sort of dancing in that 17,000 zone, right? And QQQ still just sort of dancing at that 411. So our levels still stay intact. These are the levels that we need to see break. All right? All right, let's get into some stocks. 30-minute chart. It's not enough? I guess not, man. I guess not. I don't know. I mean, we this is the first time I've had this problem in like 2 years. So I think it's just a little anomaly. I'm not going crazy here. All right. So Tesla, right? What have we talked about on Tesla? We have talked about the strength of that 212 demand, right? And it has held. That 212 demand has held like a champ, right? And it is still holding all day yesterday, on Tuesday, right? On Wednesday yesterday, that 212 level is holding Tesla up. So we're not shorting into 212. But are we not interested in pops and rejections? I still am a little bit, right? I am still interested in pops and rejections, to be quite honest, because Tesla has yet to make a higher high, right? So interested still, not going to like get crazy on it because I understand in the back of my head, right? I know, hey, Tesla's really holding demand, and this definitely could result in a little bit of a squeeze, right? Shorts are probably going to start exiting, right? People are going to start giving up on the short side, right? Shorts that are sort of trying to push Tesla lower, they're starting to see 212 hold, they're probably going to start, right? The selling is going to start to dry up here, unless, of course, Tesla gets under this level, right? If Tesla gets under here, it's going to start again, right? That downside is going to fire up again very aggressively. But for now, right, it's starting to dry up around that 212. Now, where would I really like to see Tesla go up to for any type of real rejection play? I would want to see Tesla back here, right? That 225 level. I would want to see Tesla sort of push back into 225 and then see if this level can reject again, right? Can this level right here reject again if we move back into it? That's very possible. The other one that I would watch, of course, and where we might be trying to retest, right? It's very possible that we are just trying to retest the 200 SMA, right? This is the 200 SMA right here, right? You see that red line on your screen? That's the 200 SMA. And the 200 SMA, this could be sort of that area that Tesla wants to get back to and retest and rejects, right? That could still be just a large term, right? Break, consolidation, push back up, rejection of the 200. It could still just be this larger term move on Tesla. So unless Tesla is back over the 200 SMA, right, then I'm a little bit weary of the upside. But if you want to try, right, if you want to try for that demand hold, get in early, this is the level to watch, right, without a doubt. On the daily chart, we have talked about this 212 low, right, that is holding again. That daily chart level is very, very important, and we can see the hold that has been able to show there, right? We have very clearly seen that 212 hold. So, yeah, if we get over 220 today, right? If we get over 220 today, I think you're going to push into 225, right? Right up in here, That would be my watch, right? If you can get above this 220 here today and you can actually get some strength on Tesla, you probably could see some continuation towards this rejection point around this 225, right? That would be a big watch there. But in my eyes, guys, if you're close to this 212, I just don't think it's worth shorting, right? Because you're shorting into pretty much a brick wall that just has not given up. So for me, I'm going to look from today for me is Tesla upside, right? I'm not interested in shorting back towards this 212. Not enough margin there. Too many games that could be played. Just not worth the risk, in my opinion, to be short, right? The risk to reward here, this is your reward. Your risk is a short squeeze on Tesla, right? I'm not going to be shorting Tesla into demand with the possibility of some kind of short squeeze that's looming here after a strong hold. So not worth it in my eyes to be shorting here. If Tesla does squeeze towards like that 226 or squeezes into that 200 SMA, then maybe, right, I'll get reinterested at these levels, but not now, right? Not now. 220, 217, 212, those are your big levels, right? 217, you have that 212, and then you have the 220, right? All right, let's continue. NVIDIA, beast. The beast. I mean, NVIDIA is just racking in the long-term cash, man. This is incredible stock to own. It's awesome. It's just awesome. That's all I can say. So yesterday, right? Yesterday, nice pullback in the morning, and you can see it came right back to that 550 level, right? So right back to that 550, and pretty much the entire day just grinded back up. So very strong hold at 550. I attempted a short here off 560, and I still, I'm wrong, right? I took a loss. I'm going to take a loss on it. But it's a very technical trade, right? And I'm very happy that I'm not upset at all that I took it, right? So you have these previous lows, you have a break, a retest, and you had a nice rejection, right? So I liked it. It started to look really good. You had NVIDIA rejecting the previous demand from the previous day. And so that's a really clean break and retest trade and very potential setup. Unfortunately, it's just NVIDIA is a beast, right? So I understood, and that's why I took small size on this trade. I understood NVIDIA. Trying to short NVIDIA here is going against the market, right? So if you're going to try to short NVIDIA, guys, you better make it like a total forget about play, because right now it's not something that is profitable. I gave it a shot because it was a clean setup. It aligned with my strategy. So I said, you know what? Why not? Let me take a trade. It aligns with my strategy. I'll go light on it just because I understand the strength on NVIDIA. But I'll take this shot. You can see I took some puts in this area, and I did get stopped out originally, and I'm holding some today, and I'm going to get stopped out again. So NVIDIA, strong, very strong. And so what are we looking for today? I would love if NVIDIA could do this. If NVIDIA can do this today, this could really be something special, right? I would love to see if this could work. This would be nice. Previous highs. If you could get a pullback to that 568 area today, this could be really, really nice. So look for it, right? Look for that NVIDIA pullback. Don't be scared of an NVIDIA pullback. If NVIDIA tanks out of the gates, do not get scared away, right? That's what you want to see. If you want to long NVIDIA today, you want it to tank at open, right? You want it to go straight down at open, similar to what it did yesterday, right? And then look to see where that demand hold comes in. So that's what you want to see on this ride higher. You want those tanks and those demand holds, right? You want those pullbacks and those holds of previous highs. That's exactly what you want to see. So previous highs, 568. Look for that downside today. And if you get a strong hold here, right, look to see if that creates a long. If it breaks under 568, it will come back down to 560. And that could be the proper entry as well, right? If you come into 568, but you don't see too much strength here, you're a little bit weary of it, and it does break below, then it's likely going to try to retest and fill that gap, right? And hold these lows from Tuesday of this week, right? That could also be the even sexier long entry right here at 560. So there's two long entries, right? And guys, this is going to require your ability to read price action, use levels, use stops, your trading abilities, right? This is going to, right? I can tell you that these are definitely levels that will react. There's without a doubt. I have extreme high confidence that these levels will cause reactions today. But, right, I can't, if I say, hey, look for a potential long entry here, that doesn't mean you just long this thing blindly and, right, and just, lose your ass. That's not what I'm saying. You got to watch, right? This is where you watch to see, is there actually a hold there? And do I like that potential hold for longs? If that hold is not there, right, and you start to break under it, then you're waiting for this, right? And then you're watching to see what happens here, right? So it's just about watching that intraday action, right? It's about watching what happens at your levels. And so for me today, these are my two levels, 568 and the gap fill potential down to 560, okay? That's my watch on NVIDIA. AMD. AMD. Beast. Again, AMD at all-time highs. All-time highs AMD. The previous all-time high was 164.46. And today, let me show you something. Remember that level, 164.46. Look at that. 164.46. Look at the hold above the previous all-time high at that level today. That is very important, right? AMD in the pre-market maintaining the previous all-time high. Very key level today. If AMD pulls back and starts to maintain this area, right, that is a very interesting potential long entry on AMD. If AMD falls below the previous all-time high and starts to reject it, you are going to trade back to your gap fill level at 161. Right, that could be another potential long entry at 161. Okay, so two levels, 164.50, 164.46, 161, right? If you pull back and you hold the previous all-time high as a new demand, definitely a long watch to be keeping eyes on today. All right, TSM, big pop, and this level right here, right? This level right here, guys. You see this little hold that's going on right here? See that? This little area where it consolidated and popped higher. Let me show you what that level is, right? This is a big level here. That level, if I go out back to 2021, 108, 108.20, right? If we zoom back into 2021 here, this is TSM all of 2020 to 2022. This is 2 years right here of TSM price action. What did TSM do pretty much for that entire time period? Every time it came back down to 108.23, 108.20, it had very strong demand holds, right? Look at this. Every time. Every single time. Now, remember that level, 108.23. What are we doing this morning at 108.23? What did we do this morning at that level? We perfectly held it right here. Okay? So, what are you watching on TSM today? You are watching for a pullback and a hold at this 108.23. You are watching for a pullback and a hold at 108.23. If you get that pullback and that hold at 108.23, that is the level that I would be watching for upside continuation. All right? That's the level right there. Big watch. Apple. 4-hour chart. We can see right here, right? Very strong 200 SMA demand hold, right? 1, 2, 200 SMA. Very nice hold. 1 and 2. 200 SMA. Strong hold at 180, right? Very nice. Upside push this morning. But where is Apple pushing into? Apple is pushing right into sort of an interesting area, right? A little bit of an interesting area here. Apple is pushing right into these lows and that previous high around 188. So a little bit cautious here, right? 188 is definitely a tough level on Apple after this pop. So a little bit cautious of that 188 supply. And also above that 188, look what you have. You have some SMAs that are stacked up here. You have the 20 and you have the 50 daily SMA stacked up right above that 188. So a little bit tough, right? A little bit tough on Apple to want to be long back into that heavy supply at 188 and those SMAs. I probably would want to just see a hold above that 188 for some type of continuation. But right now, a little bit tough, so just be careful of that 188 today. All right? Let's go over to, what do we want to go over to? Let's go over to Meta. Because Meta did pretty much exactly what we talked about in on the live stream yesterday. Yesterday on the live stream, we talked about the pullback to the 360 area, right? And look at what Meta did yesterday. Pulled back to 360, right? And it held, right? Pulled back to that 360, and it held very, very nicely. Now, a little bit tough to long Meta today, right? Why is it a little bit tough to long Meta today? I don't really know what's going to react in this 373 to 377 area, right? I'm not really sure how Meta is going to react up here, right? Because this could just be a pop and another rejection in this area. And Meta could just sort of, consolidate here for an extended period. So I'm not in love with a long as we approach these highs. I'm not in love with it, right? The long was back here, right? The long was back here. The long was yesterday at the 360 pullback. So I'm sort of accepting today that I've missed the long entry on Meta because I don't really want to be long into this supply high, right? Just not something I really want to be doing. If we get a strong hold above this, all this, right, and sort of clear out this high, then sure, I'll look for more upside. But I don't want to be long into these levels. So be careful there. If you do get a pullback to 360 again, you absolutely can watch for that long entry again at that 360. Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft gap fill. Actually pretty interesting today. Something I like, right? Look at this little gap fill going on Microsoft. So look at this. You got your gap up on Microsoft into that supply high, and you are rejecting that supply high. But what is Microsoft potentially doing? Microsoft is potentially gap filling at 390, right? And if Microsoft can hold this 390, this could actually be a really interesting long entry right here on a gap fill of 390. What did Microsoft do yesterday? That was very, very clean. All right, let's go out to the 30-minute. Look at this Microsoft yesterday entry, right? Previous highs. Look at this pullback right into that demand. Perfect demand hold at that 385. Perfect. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm back. Hi, I'm back. Hello. How we doing? I don't know what it is. Maybe I have to update OBS because I saw it in OBS. It dropped frames in OBS. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Here's OBS. And down at the bottom here, you can see these dropped frames. This just dropped again. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to look into it. Maybe it's bitrate. Could be bitrate, something along those lines. But so back to Microsoft 390, right? That's my level to watch today. 390. Square 66. It could be a watch again today, right? We shorted Square off 66 previously. It could be a watch again today. So maybe you monitor that 66 on Square. That could be something to monitor. Boeing. Interesting to see how long this upside lasts on Boeing, right? Is there a pop in rejection here on Boeing at some point? I don't know. I think Boeing wants to trade back into that 200 and that 100 SMA. So I probably won't be short until you get a test of that 200 and 100 SMA. This area right here, right? You can see right there. That's the level that I'd be watching. All right. What else do I want to look at? Google? Yeah. Google, Amazon have sort of been just not great, man. But Google was a nice hold yesterday. You can see right here that 20 SMA hold. This was also a previous high if I go out a little bit, right here. You can see this was a previous high on Google right here, previous high. Very nice 20 SMA demand hold there. I would want to see a pullback here today, right, to see if that holds again right here. 142, right, 142, previous low, previous low. I'd want to see if I can get a hold back at that 142. You got really strong supply up here at 146. I don't really like anything there, to be honest, guys. Just sort of sideways. Same thing with Amazon. Amazon's been just pretty much stuck in this channel. You could try to play the channel low to channel high, but I don't love it. I don't love it. We went over majority of everything I wanted to go over, I think. Google, Meta, Apple, Netflix. Well, we can go over Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. Oh, it's rejecting again. Wow. Yeah, Netflix. Right here, right? I shorted Netflix. If you watched my video yesterday, I recommend you do. I shorted Netflix yesterday off this 487 supply, right? And it's rejecting it again. So 487 to around 475, right? That's your channel right there on Netflix. If Netflix breaks that 475, it probably continues lower, right? If Netflix breaks that 475, there's probably some more downside there. And then also on the flip side, if Netflix breaks the 487, there's probably some upside as well. So there's your channel right there on Netflix. 475, 487. But then you have earnings, right? You have earnings as well. So, yeah, let's go to Coin real quick, and then let's get the hell out of here. So, Coinbase, not a strong bounce. Not a strong bounce. What would be the level I really want to see Coinbase into before trying to short this again? It's right here. I would want to see Coinbase into this area, right? Right here. This would be a short entry for me on Coinbase. 144. I don't like it here. It's too low. It's too close to demand. It could definitely pop higher. I would say 140 and 144 are your levels to watch. If you get upside, watch 140, watch 144. Those are my two levels that I would watch right there. All right? All right, guys. I think that's all I got. Apologize for some of the stream delays. I don't really know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing it. I think every time we pop to like 2,000 people, it starts to shut down on me. So I gotta look into it. I'll look into it, but this is the first time we've had these problems, so we'll see if it happens tomorrow. Hold on. Before we go, let's go quickly into the NASDAQ futures. Let's see what happened here before we go. Okay, so yeah, you can see the reactions, right? You can see the level. The level's reacting. Okay, yeah, you can see the 20 SMA as well, right? You can see that 20 SMA as well. So 4,800 ES, clear. NASDAQ, clear. QQQ, 411, clear. SPY, 475, clear as can possibly be, right? So those are your levels, just like we talked about. All right, guys, thank you again. Press that like button if you could before you head out. Enjoy your day. Stay disciplined, right? Watch your levels, trade off your levels. There's a really good clip that I would recommend you watch from yesterday's video. I'm gonna share it with you. 1 second. Go watch my video from yesterday. I challenge you to do this. Go watch my video from yesterday. And go to 1 second. There's something I said that I really like. I think it very much aligns with some things to pay attention to. Hold on. I'm going to get it for you. Start watching at 8 minutes. Yesterday's video started at 8 minutes. Okay? And watch like for 2 minutes. All right? Start at 8 minutes. Right here. Go watch yesterday's video. Start at 8 minutes and watch this Netflix. And watch like the first 2 minutes of this. Watch a little bit longer. Really good little piece of advice there. So let me know what you think tomorrow. If you watch it, come to the live stream tomorrow and let me know what you think. All right, guys. Thank you again. And I will see you, hopefully, tomorrow. Peace.